I want to show you a couple of tweets from the media that pissed me off. First, look at CBS News. Speculations are swirling that Mitt Romney could run for Senator Orrin Hatch's Senate seat. If he wins, Romney could become the voice of the GOP's opposition to President Trump. Here's a look at their fraught relationship. Now, the reason why this is unconscionable and pathetic is that it's based on nothing. So when they say, oh, yes, the GOP opposition to Trump. So who do they say right now is the GOP opposition to Trump? They say Senator Jeff Flake is. Why? Because Jeff Flake wrote a book about, we need politeness and decorum to come back in the Republican body. But when you look at Jeff Flake's record, he votes with Trump 90% of the time. So here's my idea. You don't get to say somebody is the opposition to the president if they vote with them 90% of the time. Because they're not. They're just factually not. Because at the end of the day, all the fucking noise and the rhetoric and the talking that goes on in Washington, that doesn't mean anything. What matters is what's being done policy-wise, because that's what affects everybody's life in a very real and material way. So I don't care if you tone police the president all day long. That's the easiest thing in the world. He's an unhinged buffoon. Of course, everybody looks at him and goes, man, he should really relax a little bit. Duh. That doesn't mean anything. What matters is when the votes come, whose side are you on? And you're reliably on the side of the president. So don't give me this, you're the opposition. But that's what every media outlet does. They dutifully report Jeff Flake standing up to President Trump by voting with him 90% of the time. And actually what they do is they don't even bring up that fact. They just act like he's against Trump, but they don't tell you he votes with him 90% of the time. Well, this is exactly what Mitt Romney would be. Yeah, Mitt Romney is so against Trump that he was groveling to be Secretary of State. Remember that? When Trump was playing him? Romney said some shit against Trump, and then Trump's like, oh, Mitt, maybe I'll give you the Secretary of State position. And then Romney was there in 5 minutes like, yes, sir. What do you want me to do? You want me to blow you in front of the camera? So he's going to be a sycophantic loser, just like the rest of them. He's going to vote with them across the board on the tax plan, on the endless war, you name it. But our terrible media, who's supposed to be illuminating this and explaining to you the fact that these guys vote with Trump all the time and their rhetoric is meaningless, they're supposed to be making the point that I'm making, that the opposition to Trump is futile because it doesn't exist outside of tone policing. Instead of making that point, what do? Dutifully report, he could become the voice of the GOP's opposition to President Trump. Okay, so that's one story that annoyed the fuck out of me. But now let me show you the next one. This one may be even worse. MSNBC tweeted, Trump says his nuclear button is bigger. Fact check, there is no button. Well, stop the presses, people. There's no button. They go on to explain it's technically a nuclear football and it's in like a briefcase that a dude carries who's always by the president. So when Trump responded to Kim Jong-un, when Kim Jong-un said, I have a nuclear button on my desk at all times if you try anything, and Trump responded, yeah, I got a button that is bigger and actually fucking works. Well, guess what? MSNBC is here to let everybody know, technically, it's not a button. It's a fucking football. Thank you, MSNBC. Oh, thank you. Somebody get these motherfuckers a Pulitzer, please. Somebody get these motherfuckers a Pulitzer. How brilliant are they? Unreal. This is the kind of tedious, nuanced trolling that makes them think we're leading the resistance. We're so good at resisting. We're so good at resisting. Trump said he had waffles for breakfast. Actually, they were Belgian waffles. Very different. Much fluffier. Yes. This is their idea. This is their idea of being anti-Trump. I just want you to know you help him when you do this. That helps him. Because every normal person who's not already 1,000,000,000% against Trump is going to roll their eyes and go, whatever. This is what you're spending your resources on? This is what you're spending your time on? Trump said his nuclear button is bigger. In fact, he doesn't even have a button. Got him. Oh. Maybe instead, if you want to talk about the North Korea issue, which clearly you do, maybe you talk about the history and how the U.S. has already bombed the shit out of North Korea and massacred countless civilians in North Korea. Maybe you talk about the fact that Kim Jong-un wants a bomb as a deterrent, not for an offensive strike. Maybe you go back and you quote our generals who have admitted internally, and now we know we have the quotes where they say, listen, they only want a weapon for a deterrent. They're not an offensive threat against us. Maybe that's an important fact in this whole, maybe you say, holy shit, the president of the most powerful military that ever existed, he is threatening a country where they can't even keep the fucking lights on at night. Maybe you do that. Maybe you talk about how we're doing 7 interventions right now. Trump increased drone strikes 432%. His first military raid as president killed a young American girl. Maybe talk about that? Nope. This is their idea of resistance. He said he has a nuclear button. No, there is no button. And corporate Democrats around the world go, yes, resist. There's no button. There's no button. Resist. Oh, I'm resisting so fucking hard right now, bro. Are you? Oh, yeah, bro. It's so hard. Resist more. Resist. Fucking losers. Do your goddamn job and do it right. Educate people. Educate people. Instead of doing the nuanced, trolling, fucking garbage that nothing hinges on that. You know the point he's trying to make. My button is bigger means I got fucking nukes that actually work and a much bigger arsenal than your punk ass. But they can't help themselves. No, there's no button. Got him. And then we will be critiquing his taste in music as the nukes are in the air.